Hi everyone. This is my second attempt at this video because I spent the entire 20 minutes of my first video yelling at my child. So crafting is supposed to be relaxing, right? I don't want to get everybody all worked up. So, if you watch Shelly Lynn on Crafting Mamas, she last week made little playing card journals. She called them ATC journals. I don't make ATC, so these for me really just are playing card journals, and I have a ton of playing cards. These ones are regular, just standard pictures. I have a whole bunch with gorgeous pictures on them. So what I did was I took the playing cards. I have scrapbook paper scraps, large ones, you know, that I'm not using in anything else right now, you know, to cover them with. I distressed them with my, I think this is Prima, yeah, Prima distressor. The coating on the cards does clog it up, if you can see all the little holes plugged up there. So I'm going to have to soak this in water. I have the other head. It comes with two heads. I have it soaking in water too. I was given this in Happy Mail a couple of years ago. I love it. So then I put distress ink on my scratches and gouges, if you can see that. See? And I did a bunch of different colors. And some of these cards are really beat up anyway. You know, a lot of them are torn and ripped, so they look nice and distressy. I did one cover already with some scrap paper. And see, it folds. I made a bunch of spines right here out of a composition book. And I'm just taping them on with masking tape, taping them to the cards. So that's how far I've gotten, and I've set it up like conveyor style so that I can get a whole bunch of them done. So I've gotten quite a few done, and now I just, you know, I still have this whole stack of cards that I've distressed, but why don't I find some nice paper to use, and we will make a signature. Oh, just so you know, I made my spines 1/2 inch. So if you're looking for a size, because I'm only going to do one signature in here. Just one signature, man! So I'm going to grab some paper right over here. I have some tea-dyed paper. Hey, Will, can you turn that down a little, please? And why not throw a little bit of color in there with some of my homemade alcohol ink paper. So, Will, can you turn that down a little bit, please? Alright. So what I'm going to do, just for time's sake, thank you, is I am going to line this up here and overlap it just a bit on the paper, maybe by like 1/8 of an inch, so that when I put it in, it's a little bit smaller than my cards. Okay, so I'm going to put all of these together so that I can make one. I don't know why. Oh, probably because I got one page that's really crinkled up. Right? My last round of tea dyeing, I tried to just let them dry, but it took forever. So in the process of moving things around, a whole bunch of my tea dyed papers got all crinkly. So I'll put that one aside. This one, though, I could probably flatten out a little bit. Alright. Get them like this. And start there. It might not be perfect, you know, but by the time you get them together, nobody's going to care. So, I've got my first 3 pages. See, and look at how nice. Look at how nice those look. Alright. I'm going to trace it again. I'm going to take this paper. I need just one. They are not cooperating. Go like this. Just a faint line. I do have a paper cutter, but it's usually just easier for me to do it this way than to drag that thing out. Anybody who has limited crafty space can attest to improvising when you're too lazy to drag something out. Someday I'll have my studio outside. We're converting an old chicken coop into a studio for me. So I can do soap and candles and paper stuff. Alright. So there are 6, and I'm going to do some more. Let's see if I have enough room on this side. Ooh, look at that. Just enough. So, let's just make a line. Go down. Make a line. Now, on these things, you're going to have this piece hanging off the bottom. Hold on to that, because that's what you can take afterwards and go back and make tuck spots with, because look at that nice strip. You can make belly bands. You know, you can cut this again, make a tuck spot, or some people make these into a page, you know, so it's like a little flapper. Maybe glue something to it that's nice. You know, so I use all my scraps as much as I can. Once in a blue moon, if I'm die cutting and I've really exhausted every inch of the paper, I throw them out. But I even keep a lot of my die cut papers because I put them on top of papers, and it looks really neat. So I have a big stack of sheets here. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12. So I have 12 sheets, which would make a nice signature, but I'm going to go down to 9. And I say that because the bulkier it is, the more likely your folded edge is to stick out. See, it's kind of sticking out there. So you want to try and keep it as flush as possible. And I'd rather make small signatures anyway than make, you know, giant signatures. When I attached, what did I do with my here it is. I attached this with Aleene's tacky glue right here. And the reason why I did it that way is because I don't trust water-based glues on glossy surfaces. I don't trust Aleene's on a lot of glossy surfaces, but playing cards are a little less glossy than, say, a magazine cover, right? Magazine covers and the perfume ads in magazines, those are highly glossy, and I've had issues with the lien sticking to that. So I just do, I don't mind doing it on these cards. I wouldn't use my glue stick unless maybe if you had one of those Elmer Extremes or something. But I wouldn't trust, you know, just any glue unless, like I said, you have experience with it. See, it's kind of sticking out of the edges there. So I'm going to trim each side just a little bit. And I'm not saying that I'm not, you know, I'm not saying that I'm not going to keep these little scraps either. I might even keep not these tiny little pieces, but these little scraps might be nice, you know, to embellish a little bit with. I mean, I just really like the way my sprayed pages came out. I was just trying to use up what I had left of my homemade spray inks, and they came out pretty nice. I did it on this book pages too. The book was kind of glossy, not super glossy though. It was like a satin almost, and those pages came out awesome. Like, they look watercolored because I sprayed the book pages and then just kept flipping through the pages, so I'd close them on each other so they weren't getting super muddy all on one page, you know. See, just like that. My little signature in there. So now that I have a big bite, I am going to grab one of my binder clips for this side and a binder clip for this side, and I'm going to take my big bite, go to 3/16. I don't have any small eyelets right now. I don't know why I keep wanting to call them rivets. They are not rivets, Malia. So I'm going to I'll use black this time. All of these rivets, rivets. See, I'm calling them rivets. All of these eyelets, I don't even know where they come from. They were hand-me-downs. Alrighty, so I'm just eyeballing where I'm going to put them. You know, just a little ways down from the top. And down here. Perfect. Slide this over to the eyelet setting. For this, I'm going to flip it over because I have learned that my lesson of doing it on the outside. So I set my eyelets in to get ready for that, and you line it up. Very nice. Other side. Very nice. Grab your little hole punch poop. Put your big bite away. And that's that. So now you can run your string through there. You know, I'm not going to do that right now because I don't have my string out. But I think this is a really cute little journal, right? You can do whatever you want in there. You can decorate some of the pages. You can... The eyelet setter kind of kept it apart. So I'm going to have to flatten them a bit. I'll have to put some weight on them. But overall, I think they came out great. I'll probably order some smaller eyes for the 1/8. I think you can get the 1/8 size. But this was a lot of fun, and you have your playing cards And I have all pretty papers in here, and this is a great way to use up your junk mail pages. So we can do another one. This one I won't put eyes in though, because it's so it won't sit open like that. Let's try it on this scrap paper that I have here. Okay, I'm going to do this on the back. Take my cover, trace it out. Can you believe that I cannot find any pencils? I didn't have any pencils in my house, right? And then I bought some, and now I don't know what I did with those pencils. They are just missing completely. Completely missing in action. Alright, cut your cover. I'm just going along and cutting all of the loose stuff on the top of this from where it ripped out of the book. This is some scrapbook paper that I have had for so long. This scrapbook paper has been a lot of places with me. Alrighty. Very nice, very nice. Put my other piece of scrap back up here, and I could probably get one more. I could probably get one more out of it. Alright. And just a thin line. Make sure you get a nice line all the way around the edges. And then, you know, fill in the center. It doesn't have to be thick, you know, you don't want bubbles, but you don't want the paper to bubble from there being no glue either. And if you've seen that, you know what I mean. Where you have gaps. A lot of times you get that when you're using double-sided tape for things that you don't fully cover with tape. I had that problem with my lap book that I made. I did not fully cover it. I had a couple of spots that it was not taped, and once you opened and closed it enough, you knew that. You could see it. So here's my next cover. I just want to push this down really good. I want the glue to really adhere. If there's one thing I don't like, it's crafts that fall apart. So I really like things to hold well. I am going to let this dry for a minute, and I'm going to cut some more pages out of the papers that I did not use in my last one. Although I should probably trim this a bit, right? How much did I trim off of there? I trimmed twice as much as this. Yeah, so about a ½ an inch. Let me just try and make sure. It's better to be safe than sorry, right? Yeah, that's about it. That's about right. Cut this. If I have to cut more, I will, but if I don't have to, then it'll work out. I'm not one for measuring. I am an eyeballer. Some things I measure. If I am binding a book with many signatures, oftentimes I will measure, because I want my holes to be evenly distributed, and I want it to hold up well, so I want them to be placed right from the top of the spine to the bottom. You know, things like that. If you've been making journals for a while, you know what I mean. Alrighty. Go like this. Line that up. Put it flat. So because I'm having such bad luck uploading videos to YouTube, you're probably going to have like 2 videos uploaded tomorrow. You're probably going to have this one and my other Christmas journal one. Alright, so I'm cutting these pages up. You know, like I might go in and do some stamping in it and put a few little pockets maybe, but I'm not going to go crazy. So that's 4, 5. These 2 have to be trimmed down. And I should probably grab some more paper so that I can make this one 9 pages also, because I only have 7. So let me grab some more dyed paper. There's some tea dyed. And here's a bunch of sprays. Look at those. Look at that. It might be hard to see in this light in person, though, I'm telling you. There are some colors on these. They're very, very subtle, except that one. Those were marker dyes. I gotta make some more of those. So, trace out 4 more. And then I will keep one of these as a template. But these are fun and quick to throw together. You know, Shelly did hers with altered cards, you know. She used painty papers and she stamped on them. And hers were very artsy, which I will do on future ones, but I'm just trying to use up some of the scrapbook paper that I have. So these ones for now are just going to be scrapbook covers to use up some of these bigger pieces of paper. I'm very big on trying to get rid of some of my scraps, so just another way to get rid of some of my scraps. I'm cutting out this juicy looking brown color on the bottom. I will have to turn these into pockets for sure. And I love the homemade alcohol inks, but I just don't like them. I don't like the food coloring. I have a whole bunch of markers. Maybe that'll be a project that we do in the future here if I can bring myself to do it at my desk, because I usually do those in the kitchen because it's easier, I think, next to where you have some running water, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know, for the sunflower one though, maybe we should do all tea-dyed. What do you think about that? Nah, we'll do colors, right? But I'm just gonna blend some of these in a little bit so that they don't look all the same. Alrighty. So, oh, there goes my phone. I might have to go grab that. I will return. Never mind, it was in the kitchen, so my husband got it. Alright, the case of the missing cover again, right here. I'm probably going to have to grab some thread. Let's see how this one lines up. Oh, I just love these little thingies. They are just so cute. Okay. I know what I didn't account for? How ugly that is. Right? Let me think here. How about if I took some craft glue and measured this out. Can you believe that a telemarketer called my house at 8:30 at night? Oh, I'm just so sick of it. I'm so sick of telemarketers. Okay, cut this. And it is not perfect, but it'll make it look nicer at least. Trim a little bit more off. Lily is in helping her dad make a cake. They were in the mood to do some baking tonight. I think he even made frosting for it and everything. So this is going to be a fancy ordeal. What I'm probably going to do is go through and paint the rest of those white. Just, you know, it's just going to be a pain to glue paper to everyone. Although, I mean, you can't really see it, but it bothers me. It bothers me to have it visible. You know, when you open the book and you see that writing there, that just annoys me. So, for this one, I'll glue the paper down for our last one that we're doing here. And I'm going to grab some thread. You know, and I don't have a whole lot of good thread for binding, so I'm going to have to definitely get some waxed twine, waxed linen thread, because decorative yarns just don't cut the mustard, you know. Pretty thread does not do it, and embroidery floss doesn't really do it either. You know. Alright, so clip these, get out your big bite, put it on an 1/8, right, because we don't want the big hole this time. Usually, another thing you can do too is you can use your awl.
wash your hands. Go wash your hands.
Alright, that. And this. I do have an awl, and I do like to use it, but since I'm still getting used to this crocodile, I'm going to try doing that for a little bit and see which one I like better. Alrighty, so this thread I have will work for this. It's not a big deal. So I'm just going to pull it through. Pull it through. Pull it through. Alright, cut the little crappy end off. Put this in the trash. And tie it off. Tie it. Cut your little pieces since I just floofed them off again. This is like, you know, decorative stuff, so it's not really, it's not bookbinding stuff, you know? Oh, it's loose. My signature in there is loose. I'm going to have to tie that again. Let me, we're going to have to do that again. Let me do this again. That was like way too loose. Luckily, I can untie it. Alrighty. Tighten, tighten. This is like stuff that just does not want to tighten. Little honey, can you turn that down a little bit, please? It's still loose. It's just this thread. It'll be fine. It's not as loose as it was, at least. So, there is your little sunflower book with pretty dyed papers in it. Okay? And like I said, this is a little loose, but it'll be fine. So, that is the gist of the playing card books. Get out, get yourself some playing cards. Thrift stores have them all the time. And who knows, maybe they'll even, if you're one of those people that don't want to use them because they might be good, maybe they'll even be missing a card so you can use them. But that's all I have for you tonight. Maybe if I make some more, we'll try doing a video of embellishments. Because I love to embellish things. So, I will see you all later. And I'm sorry for the bombardment of videos lately, but I hope you're enjoying them. And I hope that you're getting out there and you're doing something crafty. So, have a good night.